Ava, honey, please don't do
No, you please!
What's happening? No. On tonight's Kurt's Blurbs Hacks Edition. What up, lunatics? Kurt Money here, fresh off of crying about that amazing Hacks finale. Those tears are no doubt going to reappear now when I talk about this, so let the blurbs begin. Blurb number 1, bookends. All season, Hacks has been warning us that things are going to come full circle. And they've delivered on that. First and foremost, the return of Weed, who, thanks to her, I can't stop saying Roku 10 times a day.
What is that?
Marcus's circle is fulfilled with the launching of the Diva. Because he crushed it, place looks great, even without the statue. But also Deb giving him the right amount of credit this time. I mean, beautiful.
I want to say none of us would be standing here right now if it wasn't for the genius Marcus Vaughn.
Until Mayor Joe cuts her hand.
Get away from me! Get away from me!
Hell, even Marty gets in on it. Again. I thought maybe last week was the last we'd see of him. I mean, he's in the group hug. He says, "We love you," in a close-up. But no, now Marty's last line is about a race that he can't participate in. I'll drive fast here. This is the kind of yes man Deb needs on the floor 24/7. So good on you, Marty.
Though I do need June off. I'm going to do the Mille.
No.
No problem. I'll just drive fast here.
But perhaps the fullest of circles happens at the very end of the app when Deb chases Ava down to continue to pitch dying jokes to her.
That's the better joke.
This is exactly how Deb chased Ava down in the pilot when they first met and fought.
That's a better joke. Okay, can I go now?
No, you're hired.
And just like that scenario does, this one ends with Deb offering her a job.
Will you help me write it?
Now, they played a clip of that pilot moment in the previous one, so clearly some suit at HBO didn't think we'd be able to connect the dots. Yes, does it shock you to learn I'm anti-next-ons and also previously-ons? I don't want nothing to do with either of them, okay? I think we would have done just fine because there's already an amazing callback to that moment in the Montecito app when Ava is describing how they met.
I was halfway down her driveway in my car and she cut me off in her Rolls Royce and insisted that I stay, and so I did. I mean, how could I refuse?
Ooh, hi.
It works as a meet cute for two lovers and as a meet cute for two besties. Okay, so I was already thinking of it. If my heart was swelling, what the fuck? I think maybe it doesn't like this rhyme I'm about to do. If my heart was swelling, you know the peepers were welling.
Nice.
You know, it's funny, I set up my camera before I watched the finale. I was like, I know, I'll get my fresh thoughts right when it's over. No. Nobody's seeing me post that finale because I was a freaking mess, bawling my eyes out. And then I listened to the podcast that Hannah was on and I cried again. She like addresses the fans at the end. I don't know. It's very touching and stuff, okay?
I just want to say that we will always have this, and it was such an honor to experience this with you all.
And now it's been 24 hours. I'm still fighting the urge, and I will lose it eventually. Because this was a beautifully written finale, a perfect send-off for a perfect show. I knew I was in trouble at the beginning, when I was already getting misty when Deb was talking about, like, Vegas inclusivity. I was like, they will take anybody. Damn it.
This is a place to be who you really are, without shame.
So you can imagine what a bestie's last vacay pre-Suey does to me.
You know, I knew something was up when you said you wanted to go on vacation, but I didn't realize it was a f***ing suicide mission. No, I'm not going.
And I have specific thoughts about how it ends, but we're going to talk about that last. For now, let's talk about the fun stuff. Blurb number 2, up top. If you had asked me a week ago what the most famous visual of two hands coming together was, I would have said, duh, that's easy. Predator.
You son of a bitch.
But they have been officially dethroned by Ava and Deb in this finale. Deb's reveal that her hands are bigger than Ava's. My God.
Your hands are bigger than mine?
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, the scream, I was screaming, and it was both a laugh scream and a cry scream. It was like both the sweetest thing I've ever seen and also the most brilliant, funniest, awesome years in the making callback I've ever seen. Oh, it was so good.
Are you kidding me this entire time? Are you kidding me?
I want a TED Talk or a masterclass or something on this joke specifically. Did they think of it while they were writing this up? Did they think of it in season 1? And they're like, oh, let's put that in our pocket for down the road.
Who knows?
Plus, let's not forget, this joke does not work unless Jean Smart's hands are bigger than Hannah's. And they sure are. So when did they notice that her hands were bigger? I want to know. It's not funny if she goes, oh, by the way, my hands are actually bigger than yours. It wouldn't work. It's seeing her fingies curl over Ava's and that realization that Deb's got the bigger mitts this whole time.
They're much bigger than mine. They are much bigger.
This, oh, so brilliant. And to have it immediately after Ava finally comes around on Deb's plan. I mean, good stuff. Blurb number 3, changes in latitudes, changes in attitudes. What a fun piece of business this was when Jimmy and Kayla forced this prick supreme out of his title and his company.
You want the company.
Yeah.
Because of course he was behind those Arby's ads. Of course he is. This guy's a slimeball through and through, and he was to the very end.
You know what? I am so sick of listening to your socialist bullshit.
I love that last week I was so worried. I was like, Hex, why would you do Jimmy dirty like this? Don't leave him on the bottom when the show ends. Well, don't you worry, Mailroom was part of that plan, and now they're on top of the world.
Latitude, Kayla Schaefer, president speaking.
You know, also, I was cracking up when I thought of the title for this blurb, because I'll bet you money friggin' Michael Schaefer got the name of his company Latitude from that Jimmy Buffett song. Like, does that not fit perfectly into his origin story? Yeah, sure, he's a hardened, some would say criminal, but I'll bet in the 80s he was just a parrot head with a dream. Capitalism comes for us all. Except for Jimmy and Kayla. They are perfect and will run this agency with grace and dignity for years to come.
Hannah Montana was two people, you fucking moron.
Blurb number 4. 1 out of 3 ain't bad. All season, I've had big plans for the big bads of Hacks. Lipka, Schaefer, Lassie. I had sights set on all of them. And it felt good to really take one down.
Good luck.
Lipka, that slippery bastard, he's just fine. Making deals on the golf course like it ain't no thing. You'd think this would infuriate me. Like, come on, let's see this guy burn. But you know what? I like this better, because it's like, Lipka, you're not even worth it, dude. You are nothing, just a fake suit and a smile with a golden parachute. So good for you, but you're out of here. You're out of the mind grapes forever. Good riddance.
We'll talk soon.
Very soon.
Kayla!
Also, speaking of Lipka, it's quite telling that when Deb does her thing, Lipka swears revenge no matter what it takes.
You think you can just silence me forever?
I'm gonna try.
And yet, the guy who supposedly assaulted him and, like, broke his phone and wouldn't let him make a call,
You're gonna listen to him? Not smart.
oh, he's A-okay with that guy. That's water under the bridge.
Hey, Jimmy, it's Bob.
Let's get Arbuckle an Oscar, dude, right? Fake-ass bitch.
About a 9 on the tension scale, Rube.
And as for Lassie, I mean, keep an eye out, all right? She's dangerous. And probably out there on a murder spree as we speak. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it was revealed that Lassie was the boogeyman, the killer in Widow's Bay. I mean, that's just how ruthless a killer Lassie is. Blurb number 5, her body, her choice.
How dare you turn that around on me?
All right, let's talk about it. They pitched this ending along with the show in the first place. I think that's so smart of them to go in there. Like, when you're coming up with the show, it's beaten to your head like, it's got to be able to run for years and years, okay? It's just got to be a plug and play. Characters, they can't change. They talk about that on the pod.
That was one cool thing. It wasn't plotted like a sitcom where characters don't change and they do the same thing over and over and over. We were like, no, this is a relationship between two women and they are changed.
But I love their approach where it's like, here's the pitch for our show, and here's the end of this friendship 5 years from now. And they friggin' did it and stuck to it. I love that. You know who can't say that? The How I Met Your Mother dudes. They knew all along that Deb's cancer was going to come back, and she wants to call her own light, as she says, at the destination assisted SUI clinic in the world.
There's a place there called Dignitas.
Is that one of those assisted suicide places?
Well, not one of, it's the best one, but yes.
Hacks might be the only show who can do a plotline like this, and no matter which outcome they choose, whether she goes through with it or not, it wouldn't be a cop-out if she said, never mind, I want to live. And that's just a testament to how legendary the writing on Hacks has been. If Deb had gone through it, say goodbye to Ava at the train station and say goodbye to the world at Dignitas or whatever, I'd still be here with a slow clap. One, it would be a ballsy-ass move for the show. It's not often a show will handle this topic seriously, let alone go through with it, and let alone on a comedy.
And it does feel like something that both Deborah and Ava would probably advocate for.
But Deb's ultimate decision to go to treatment and fight this thing, Ava's right, that is the Deborah thing to do.
Your whole thing is beating the odds. This is so not you.
It is.
As a matter of fact, this episode was perfectly in line with their characters. And there was an ep this season where they kind of foreshadow this same arc in the AI episode. Ava was appalled and disgusted that Deb was getting in bed with AI, tried to talk her out of it, like by giving her these cold hard facts.
Turns out, really bad.
Only for Deb to realize herself the evils of AI and what it could be taking away from her.
I am so glad I got through to you.
No, this was an amoral decision based on a nerd being a loser to me.
Flash forward to France. Instead of AI, Ava's trying to talk her into living. And again, she's got the hard facts to prove it. Here's some treatments we can do. Here's some tests and studies and blah, blah, blah.
There are some interesting clinical trials on some new experimental drugs that I think
Oh my God, clinical trials.
And still, Deb, because like Jimmy says, you don't change Deborah Vance's mind. You don't. The only person who's going to change Deborah's mind is Deborah. And she does so when she realizes, hey, this whole battle for life or death thing, I've got jokes out the wazoo about this. It would be a crime to not tell these. I can't clock out until the world hears them. And then we get what is one of the best and well-written lines in Hack's history, which he says, I may not have 30 years, but I've got another hour. It's good. It's really, really good.
I may not have 30 years, I think I have another hour.
And then think about all the fun and heartwarming shit we got to do before then. Ava learned how to drive stick.
Why am I in the rough draft of a car?
She finally ate good bread. She learned how to haggle. Deb wore a soccer jersey and bought an 8-ball.
Okay, sweetie. We could do an 8-ball. If that would make you feel better.
Perfect vacation, no suey needed. Just a tip-top finale for a tip-top show. I love Deb, I love Ava. It's really hard to think that it's not gonna come back, and I just think about them in Paris and stuff. And future Kurt here. While we let current Kurt compose himself, I would like to do my own blurb that he forgot. Future blurb. Let's not shortchange Ava's growth here. Rewatch the pilot and you'll see just how different she is now. So it was so cool to open the app with this oneer of her crushing shooting the pilot of her own show. And this smile when the title slam comes down. I mean, look at that smile. Look at it. I love it. Okay, back to Weeps McGee over here. You know, they're talking on the pod, they're joking about how they had an idea for a movie. And Jen Statsky was the holdout, and she's like, no, it's over. But then even she comes around, is like, well, you know what, if we did this and did this. And they have an idea for it, and it's a good sign for us fans that they did not reveal it on the pod, because that means they're keeping it in their back pocket. Okay.
I don't know.
You don't know how bad things are going to go for our career.
Yeah. We might have to come back.
We might have to do it.
So that's good to know, but if that does not happen, this was still a perfect run of a perfectly told story about like what is potentially the best friendship ever on television. So I'm gonna fucking miss you, Hacks. Gonna miss you. And please, HBO, release this friggin' show on Blu-ray. Listen to Paul W. Downs. He's already a saint in my book. And then I read articles about how he's like wanting a physical media version of Hacks so fans can have it forever. Oh, props, dude. I mean, that's the hill I'm on. Hacks deserves to be on fan shelves for all of eternity. And not just on a server until they need the bandwidth for some show that doesn't have as many royalties. This is the part where I usually implore you to watch the Blurbs. And hey, if you're planning on doing that, don't let me stop you. But if not, then I say watch this finale again and realize for yourself and agree with me that the show Hacks is the best of all time. The acronym could use some work, okay? But in the meantime, to shitboat!